When the world sees what we've made, everything's gonna change. Cut! Mark,
It's my money, dude.
it's your borrowed money. Hunter!
Remember, guys, we're more than actors. We're doers.
Hello, you are watching Lovett Film. My name is Jamie, and thanks for choosing this show once again. Lovett Film. We're here to talk about movies, TV shows, how these things are made. Today's guest, his name is Ted Hayden, and he's a director. Now, if you are familiar with Cobra Kai Season 6, you'll know Brandon Lee. He played Quan. And if you know Cobra Kai, you definitely know Quan. He was brilliant in that season. I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it, but Brandon stars in this movie next with his co-star Hector Malgoza, and it's so funny. It's hilarious about these two filmmakers who borrow money from the wrong people and all hell breaks loose. It's called Violet Vendetta. Now, I can't wait to talk to Ted Hayden, the director, just in terms of how the hell do you make something like this? How do you make a movie? How do you get someone who was in Cobra Kai to be in your movie? These are the questions I want to ask Ted. So without further ado, let's get talking to Ted. Ted.
Hello, hello.
Nice to meet you. Glad to have you on, and glad to meet you, and glad to talk about your movie, Violet Vendetta. I've watched the whole thing, and I won't give it away for anyone who hasn't seen it, but it was so funny, man. It was like, I mean, I just wanted it to keep going at the end. Like, it was just genuine. You had a great time watching it. The characters were interesting, and as I said, just the jokes were landing. Violet Vendetta, for people that don't know, though, Ted, what is Violet Vendetta?
Yeah, so Violet Vendetta is a story about two amateur filmmakers trying to make it big. And what happens is they borrow the money from the wrong group of people. And and essentially it's kind of the chaos breaks out, and we find out what happens to their film. And it's a story, I guess really like to kind of get deeper into it, like it's a story about these two ambitious filmmakers who have their dream movie that they're making. And they want to do, they've been thinking about it for years. Tarantino is like their mentor. They aspire to be one of the greats. And they just make some wrong decisions with borrowing money from their shady executive producer. And chaos ensues.
Yeah, I mean, Tarantino sort of vibes are true and true in the movie. I mean, it's definitely its own thing, but I think that was really a good thing, as in that type of action. I love that too. In Pulp Fiction, I thought of straight away. And I felt like that was kind of like what the characters were doing too, subconsciously. Like Hector's character, the way he was dressed is like, he wants to be Pulp Fiction. And that's why it's so funny. And I mean, speaking of your actors, you have Brandon Lee and Hector Malgoza, and the two of them were just brilliant. And I recognized Brandon straight away. I've seen all of Cobra Kai, I was like, that's Quan, I knew him straight away. And I heard there's a funny story of how you and Brandon met.
Oh, yeah. So essentially, I used to work at Riot Games as an editor and a director. And
Cool.
kind of towards the end of my stay at Riot Games, so every year at Riot, they have this big tournament for League of Legends called the Worlds event, where they have all the best teams from all over the world face off. It's kind of like the Super Bowl, but for gaming. And before the show, they have essentially it's almost like a pre-halftime show with musicians, performers, and Brandon was essentially the lead performer of that event. There was a pre-shoot at the Warner Brothers studio a couple of months beforehand to kind of open up the show. And then he led kind of the stunt work and was the main protagonist of that story. So I directed the documentary for the behind the scenes piece. And, we were looking for a subject as we were creating the documentary. And Brandon was not only super fucking talented with his stunt work and just like his presence, but also he was a huge fan of League of Legends. So he was kind of the perfect subject for this 30-minute doc. And we connected, we bonded. And then, after I left, we came together and we decided to make a movie.
Yeah, and I mean, it was great casting too, because even when it wasn't the scenes where they were making their movie. I feel like it was the joke that their movie, like the fight scenes were meant to look bad, but I mean, the actual choreography that Brandon was doing in your film, like I won't give it away again, but like in the golf course and stuff like that, I had me going like this. It was really, really like fast paced and cool, you know. I really, really enjoyed it. I noticed as well during those scenes that the music was very, very good. It was I have it down. Eric Grossman did the music, and I recognized his name too when doing the prep for the interview, because I've seen a couple. He was in projects like Avatar 2, Megan, stuff like that. I mean, what role does music play in your film?
Oh my God. I mean, music plays a huge role in our film. Yeah, I mean, we were so blessed to work with Eric on the project. And, you know, I tell a lot of people that like the edit and the film really took shape when we made the score, when we were in the process of making it. You know, we had a cut in the summer and it was feeling good, but it was, you know, we were like waiting to add the energy. It felt like something was kind of lacking behind the piece. And I met with Eric and we kind of brainstormed, okay, what narrative do we want to play, right? Like we want to kind of lean into their Tarantino fascination for their film within a film. And then and we wanted to elevate it and kind of have a progression where their film within a film kind of like essentially like went towards an upgrade all the way up until the end credits. But yeah, we met and this was the first time I cut something with no temp music. So I've cut a lot of promos and trailers with the background as an editor. I'm used to getting a track that's either pre-selected by myself or creative director, and I get stems and I line up, you know, the beats of the trailer with hits and risers and all that stuff. So this is the first time I cut something without music. And when I met with Eric, he was like, I want you to give me a cut with no temp so we can build the story and the rhythm of the cut to the music. And it was really, as a first time, you know, working with a composer and doing that process, it was just like, it was eye-opening and it was freeing. And it was like, at first it was really uncomfortable. And I was like, oh, this shot feels like it's going on too long. And, but yeah, I mean, it was just really like, I learned a lot working with him. And, you know, it was, we were blessed because in our score, it's not, you know, it's not all electronic instruments. Eric recorded himself, because he's a musician, recorded guitars, bass, a synth, like a big synth machine.
Cool, man.
We also had someone record flutes, organ, drums, and strings. So it's kind of like
you could tell straight away while watching it. You know, it was definitely, you could tell straight away it wasn't all done on a computer. You know, I mean that's why it was so good too. You know, it was great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of like something like this film, Violet Vendetta, and the logistics of how you even start writing a short film. I know you co-wrote this movie with Theo Olsen. Where does someone start with coming up with an idea like this? I mean, did you have this idea for a while and then you were like, oh, you approached your co-writers, like you want to turn this into something, or was it just out of the blue?
We wrote this script in 2 weeks.
Whoa, cool.
We decided to make a movie. Man, we shot in May, and I think like end of April, we were like, we want to make a film. So, you know, I am super blessed to work with Theo. Like Theo and I have known each other for a long time. We're really close friends, and we've always wanted to collaborate. So yeah, when we met, we went to Shake Shack and started brainstorming ideas, and then we came up with stuff that we're really excited about. We wanted to tell this story about like these goofy characters. You know, a lot of reference point would be like 21 Jump Street or Pineapple Express. Like they're both aimless and they don't really know what they're doing, but and they're set in these kind of dangerous and high stakes scenarios. But yeah, I mean, it was a very quick turnaround, and you know, I guess, I don't know. Yeah.
No, that makes sense, man.
Yeah.
That makes
This
2
is my
weeks,
first
I mean,
podcast. Sorry,
is this your first?
podcast,
Oh, you're doing great,
ever.
man. You're doing great.
Ever.
You're
Thank
doing
you. Thank you.
You're doing fantastic, man. I mean, it's all about just figuring out, like, I mean, how these things happen, and kind of, we had Benjamin Byron Davis on the show the other week, and he was saying it's a cool idea to demystify this type of thing, because for me, I'm even an outsider with making things, short films. All of this is new and interesting to me. So it's great to hear you talking about it and adding some life for people who want to start making movies. I have your director's statement here as well, because I thought it was interesting, where you were saying each person that worked on this movie, they left their own imprint. And what do you mean by that?
Oh my God, dude. I mean, you know, it really is like, you know, independent filmmaking, you know, it requires a lot of dedication and sacrifice. Like we were fully self-funded. We had no investors. This was like all us. And you know, it was not, you know, like a big Hollywood or studio budget. But everybody still brought like their absolute A game. And I think like one of the things I like to do as a director, and I think one of the strengths of collaboration in that stance is kind of letting the masters do their work, like being the best that they can. So Eric killed it with the score. Brandon, you know, absolutely owned the stunt choreography and just went above and beyond. All our stunt performers, like, you know, we were shooting in 100-degree weather in Palm Springs, you know, throwing themselves through golf carts, like, you know, getting hit, you know, with props. And it's everybody who worked on it essentially came with the same passion that I had. And we were just so blessed. And it's essentially like letting people do what they do best, right? Like again, first time ever working with someone doing score, you know, giving that freedom and letting them work their magic. Same with the stunts, same with our DP. Like letting everybody feel like the film is theirs as well, right? Like I don't want to be like, this is mine and protect it and be like, no, don't do that. Like I want to be able to share it and empower people so they can feel like they made something too.
Yeah, and you can tell. I mean, just anything that's good, I feel like everyone kind of has to care about it in their own way. And you can tell while watching it that people really, really tried with it. Especially, I mean, the golf course scene that you mentioned, 100-degree weather, man. Wow. I mean, I'm Irish, and here in Ireland, we have a lot less than that. And that's like today, and that's considered a very, very hot day. So I don't know how you guys were doing it. And speaking of the golf course, how do you go about filming something like that? I mean, do you have to like get permission from somebody, or do you find an empty golf course? For people that don't know.
Yeah, so we called, I think it's even on the conservative side, we called 30 golf courses. Yeah, so we called a lot of golf courses. A lot of courses require like a huge deposit. You know, we would give the spiel like, hey, we're independent, you know, this is like not commercial. And even ones that wouldn't charge a fee were just like, no, we're not interested. But we found 2 courses that we loved in Palm Springs, and we were really blessed with our final location. We had 2 days to shoot, and as you know, like a lot of our fight scene happens in this like little nook in the golf course. But the first day there was a tournament super early, and I think they wrapped around like 9 or 10. So the owners at the course, or the manager, I should say, was like, hey, do whatever you want. So we got to do our driving shots. We had this like stretch limousine golf cart that we had our Steadicam operator on the back of. And yeah, we got to drive in the fairway. So we were kind of like, they let us use it as their playground, which, you know, as a filmmaker, having that huge location, kind of giving us full reign to do what we want was amazing. But yes, it took a lot of work, a lot of phone calls, and to make that happen. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I mean, yeah, I'm glad you got it, because I mean, I can't imagine that anywhere else too. Was there any, you know, challenge throughout the entire course of film? Actually, how long did it take to film while we're on the subject?
Yeah. So we essentially had 3 principal days. One at a location in Los Angeles, and then 2 main days in Palm Springs. And then we had a couple pickup shoots. So because it was 100 degrees on our main thing, we weren't able to necessarily like grab all our hero shots or all our singles. So we went back the following weekend, and I would say if I were to add up the pickup shoot days, it was probably like an additional 2, so probably 5 altogether.
That is so impressive to get that quality in 5 days, man. I mean, there's people who film for weeks, months, who don't get that. I mean, was it challenging to get everything you needed within those 5 days?
Yeah, I mean, especially the days when we had like the larger set piece and the larger fight scene, because, we didn't have that whole crew. So those first 3 days we had a huge crew. I think altogether, with performers, it was like 25 people. So we would lose that portion after those 3 principal days. So the main thing we wanted to focus on is getting those like steady cam shots where we have multiple actions, right? Where we have multiple fight scenes and choreography. And we wanted to make sure to get all that while we had everybody. So that was like kind of our main focus. And of course it's stressful, right? Like it's 100 degrees. It's like at the end of the day, we had like the wind blowing. It was honestly, it felt like Mother Nature was against us, but we just all pushed through, which was crazy. But yeah. I mean, it was, we really, honestly, like we just really lucked out. Like everything fell into place, and it fell into place because nobody gave up. Like we had on those main days, like I was struggling, we were all struggling, but like people just kept going. And I think that's why we were able to get all we could.
I mean, and more power to you, I mean, I can't imagine the stress of having to make sure everyone's fed, everyone's happy, everyone's on time. If you're a fan of Lovett Film and you're watching us here on YouTube, please subscribe. I mean, it would really help us. I mean, if you like our stuff, we post reels all the time on Instagram, on TikTok, and please leave a review. Reviews do great for us. I mean, helps us make more of these videos on Apple Podcast reviews. That's where the magic happens. So if you have time and want to give your thoughts, it doesn't have to be positive too. If you don't like what I'm doing, you can write that down. You can get angry. Yeah, leave a review. If you're enjoying Lovett Film over here, the show with me talking to these people about movie things, you can help us directly by signing up to our Patreon. The links are in the bio. I mean, hey, a little goes a long way. So if you want to do that, I really appreciate it. As well, a lot of the time I'd assume with like short films, when you're independent doing these things, a lot of people have, other jobs and stuff like that. So was it hard to get people's schedules to align and stuff?
Yeah, to an extent. I mean, because it was the summer, I think things were slower in people's schedules. I mean, we definitely had to work with what we had. So we shot on the weekends. But in general, most people were available and free. And, yeah, I think in terms of scheduling and getting everybody together, it was actually pretty smooth.
Good. I mean, I could see that film, Violet Vendetta, being a feature-length film. Was that an idea what making it, or is it complete as it is in its short film capacity? You guys aren't even thinking about that, or is that something that you'd be interested in doing?
Yeah, so actually, fun fact, we have started to write a pilot for a short series.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah. And I think, we initially thought about a feature, but when we wrote the script, our initial script was like an extra 5 pages. So it could have been 15 minutes. And we have a whole backstory we want to get into both characters, raising the stakes, right? Like it's not just that they're trying to save their movie. We want some like world-saving situations going on, and making it feel grander and more absurd, and plussing the action. But yeah, I mean, we have a backstory where Luke is a like failing karate teacher. We have Hector, Hunter, really diving into his fascination with film and wanting to make this movie. So yeah, we're making a pilot, and we're writing a pilot, I should say. We're not making it yet. Hopefully we get to make it, but
I hope so too.
We're essentially almost done writing a pilot for a series.
It would make, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, even the short that's made now, you could see that being an episode in its own right. I mean, in TV format, it'd be so cool, man. I mean, I really hope that's how it goes. Now, Ted, just talking a little bit about yourself too. I mean, Violet Vendetta, great film. But how did you become a director? I mean, were you always interested in filmmaking? Is this something you've been doing for years?
Yeah. So actually,
I know you were in Riot Games and stuff like that. You were saying earlier.
Yeah. So I went to film school at California College of the Arts in San Francisco. It was like wasn't your typical film program. It was kind of a fine arts film program with a heavy documentary background. And so when I graduated college, I worked on set. I did like the PA thing, and I worked as a camera PA because I wanted to be a DP. But then I settled in San Francisco and I started my own advertising agency where it was a small shop, but we did work with some pretty big clients. We had WeChat, Hilton. It was very much like we were in the startup tech boom as we're making these commercials. It was rewarding, but I also found out like running a business isn't as fun as just being a creative. So I switched over into the creative realm, like strict creative realm, and yeah. So I'd say like my directing background is, kind of tech, commercial, and then documentary work, and I've been fortunate enough to, tap into several different kinds, long form doc, short form doc, commercial, and now narrative. This is the first narrative film I've made probably since college. I made like 2 shorts in college. I don't even know where they are in my hard drives, but they're somewhere. But
I think everybody has that, even if they haven't, studied film.
Yeah.
They have a short film they made when they were like 18 or something.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, that's kind of my directorial background.
That's cool, man. I mean, it's great that you can that you chose the creative route and you're doing what you want to do, I mean, for a lot of people too, they say college is great for learning how to make movies, but you learn so much more out of it. I mean, do you feel like that statement's true, that, I mean, actually making movies, I mean, benefits you more than the studying in college?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say yes and no. The technical side, yes. The technical side, real world experience for sure. But I was definitely blessed to have some incredible mentors at school that kind of let us discover what kind of subjects and stories we wanted to tell. I was blessed to have the main teacher and kind of like the head of the film department of our film program was Rob Epstein. And Rob directed the Academy Award winning documentary In Times of Parking Milk. He directed How, and like he was a huge mentor in terms of how I wanted to tell stories. Like, while we made a narrative kind of like fun action comedy, it's still that process of learning how to focus on the right subjects and like dive into the stories I wanted to tell. A lot of that came from there. I was also blessed to have Mark Andrews be our storyboard teacher. So Mark's
Pixar, right?
Storyboard. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he was my teacher in college, and he a lot of the things I learned there. There's no way I would have learned any of that on my own.
That's so cool, man. Wow, That's an incredible 2 mentors to have in college. I mean. Yeah. In my statement a second ago, stay in school, I think, is the new statement. I mean, that's incredible, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think like I was really blessed with my education, and then I think I was really blessed with, like my on-set experiences and learning from the best people around me. And I think like really, to be honest, this film is like a culmination of all that. Right? Like,
yeah, I
don't think I could have made something like this even like 5 years ago. This just felt like, it felt like everything was leading up to this, and it just kind of happened. Every year I learned something as a filmmaker. Every year I learned something about, how to become a better editor, how to become a better director, how to, give people freedom to do what they do best in a collaborative environment. And yeah.
I mean, that's the wise words, and I feel like just watching movies too helps. I mean, I just saw 28 Years Later last night. Have you seen the new one?
Not yet, no.
Dude, it's brilliant. I mean, did you find out Danny Boyle as a director?
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, this one is just, I mean, the first 28 Days Later, it's like he took that and just, I mean, he shot some of it on an iPhone as well, which is just wow. And without giving the movie away, the iPhone footage is just incredible. Now, getting back onto Violet Vendetta and stuff like that, Ted, when is this released? When can people see this? I know it's on the film festival circuit for a while, isn't it?
Yeah, so we're essentially it's on the answer is we don't know.
Right, okay.
That's probably that's probably the short answer. Yeah, I mean, just we want to see where this goes, and we want to see, how many festivals choose it and want to feature it. Because we focus so much on the sound, because we focused on the on the score. We mixed the whole thing in true 5.1. We went to this place in Burbank that does, a full mix. Like, we had this incredible sound mixer, Sergio Roca, who mixed our film, and we, because we focus so much on like making it sound and feel. We've got the subwoofers. Everybody like can feel the visceral, the punches, the music. Like, we want it to be in a theater. We want it to be in as many theaters as we can. Like, I know we're short, so it'll be hard to to screen it around the world, right? But as a short film. But yeah, we think that based on how hard people have worked on it, and based on of like the feeling we want people to have, especially in a time where like not a lot of people are going to theaters, and I just think it's all like super important and more important than ever to get people in the seats and
Big
get
time,
the
man.
popcorn, get the drinks, and just like, that's how we're supposed to watch movies, so we'll
Especially
see.
when there's someone,
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you put so much effort into it too. And I think it's going to do very well in the film festival circuit. And I think anyone, if they have a chance to catch it in any of these festivals, do check it out. Because I mean, as someone who watched it, I loved it, man. I mean, there's so much more I could talk about it to the audience about, but I don't want to give it away at the same time, Now, Ted, I mean, it was great having you on for your first ever podcast, which was really, really cool, man. I mean, Violet Vendetta, as I said, is just a really, really funny short, and I hope to see it get awards and turn into a show down the line. It'd be really, really cool. But anyway, man, thanks so much for coming on today. It was great talking to you, and it was, as I said, interesting hearing how these things get made, because for so many people starting out, it's just in alien language.
It is. Yeah. And like, I guess one thing I also want to add is, I came to LA in 2017, and I was like, I want to direct and make movies. And then, I got caught up in the editing grind where, like you kind of like, I guess like I kind of lost that idea of like, this is what I can achieve and this is my dream. And it's okay. Like, I love editing. It's fun. Like, I feel like I'm pretty good at it. I get enjoyment and creative fulfillment from it. But it was like 8 or so years later, I was like, I need to make something. And it felt really good to finally do that. And it's really easy to get kind of like stuck in, if it's not just maybe not just the day job, but your trade, or maybe I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, it feels good to do something that I've wanted to do for so long, that would either I didn't think I had in me, or B, that I kind of didn't feel like I was ready for, and it finally happened, and I'm super fucking blessed, and everybody involved was awesome. And yeah, I'm just excited for people at festivals to see it. I'm glad that you got to see it, and I'm excited for when we do a online release of some kind, TBD. So
Yeah, I mean, it's great that you're so honest about that too, Ted, because I mean, editors, I feel like, would make great directors too, because when you're editing, I mean, I've edited a lot too. I mean, short films, even these podcasts I edit together sometimes, and that's where a lot of the direction comes in. You're choosing what shot to use, choosing how long it's going to be, and you're changing a lot about it. So it's great that you took that and then you went down the route where you're going through with creativity and making kick-ass films like Violet Vendetta, man. I mean, I loved it. I really, really did. As someone who loves movies like Pulp Fiction, anything Tarantino, I mean, fan of Brandon Lee too. I mean, he's badass. And Hector too. Hector was great in the film, and all the other cast and crew. So yeah, I wish you all the best, Ted, and I hope nothing but good things.
thank you, brother.
Yeah, it's been a blast, man. Thanks so much for coming on too.
Awesome,
Right,
man.
man.
Well,
Badass.
dude,
Great talking to you,
thanks
right?
again. Yeah. I will say, side note,
Yeah.
I think I did a DNA test and I'm like 80% Irish. Like, so there's on my
You are?
grandfather's side. Yeah.
Man,
So,
crack open a Guinness. Come on.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
My family's doing a whole they're doing a reunion in Ireland, and I think I'll be going. We still have some extended family there, so I've always wanted to go back, and I've always
Really?
wanted to go. Yeah,
Oh,
so
man,
it's
dude,
cool to
dude.
like, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Ireland is there's just so many relations, and especially in the US. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like there's so much of the population over there has relations and stuff like that. But I mean, you know what? Americans and Irish typically, I mean, they get on so well. I used to be a tour guide in a whiskey distillery for years
Yeah.
here in Ireland, and the best customer ever was anyone from the States. You guys
Yeah.
were the nicest. You know what as well? You always tipped. You always gave us money, which we don't do here in Ireland. So every time we saw anyone from the States, I was like, I'll do that tour, man. That's me, you know? Come visit Ireland, man. You know, we need the tips.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man, for sure, dude.
All right, man. So maybe I'll see you around Ireland, all right? But drink
Sure.
Guinness. It's best here, all right? It's best here.
I'm sure it is. Right on.
All right, good to meet you, Ted. See you, man.
All right, you too, man. All right.
Violet Vendetta is coming out soon to film festivals in the States. So if you do the festival scene, do check it out. Take it from me, a guy who actually likes good films, you know, Tarantino movies, Pulp Fiction. His movie was class, all right? Check out his film. Ted Hayden, can't thank him enough for coming on to Lovett Film. He was a sound guy. In film news, 28 years later, I saw it last night. Danny Boyle, man. Oh, I nearly hit the microphone. Danny Boyle. Incredible. That movie made my imagination explode. It was just visually, at times I was just turning to Chris and Carl from the team and Chloe and just being like, what the hell is going on? This is insane. And thanks to Sony, by the way, for inviting us to the premiere here in Dublin, Ireland. But it was just, best film I've seen all year, without a doubt. Okay, I mean, the last two movies I've seen, How to Train Your Dragon, the remake, 28 years later, brilliant, man. I'm liking these movies coming out that are actually good. It keeps cinema alive. Now, folks, this is the end of the interview. I don't really have any phrase to end this interview. But look, thanks so much for coming on to Lovett Film. It's a small podcast, but a strong one. And that's because of you watching. So, folks, I will see you next week for another interview where I'm going to change this microphone. I keep hitting off the thing. Anyway, see you later.